kind of rock the boat in a sense and demolish their opposition.
Yeah. It's such a good point, Boggs, because I mean, again, like complexity, like you said, I mean, their map history as a new unit together has been very limited. But what we saw yesterday, I mean, both, Floppy and Grim, like they were putting plus 20s on the board. Halzerk, he had a pretty decent showing, but I mean, JT had a phenomenal series so far in this qualifier. Like he's been able to put up some really big numbers. Like he was a plus 12 with 95 ADR. So that's something you don't normally see. And that's, I know, something Fi and I talked a lot about yesterday, but that's kind of, a little bit of a refreshing moment for an IGL to actually, pull some weight and do some pretty big lifting as well, considering the roster you have on this complexity team.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too. JT, he doesn't exactly have the most explosive games on a fully consistent basis, but he can pop off when called upon. He's not a player that should be a liability for you, which is a good thing for complexity. And Gaimin Gladiators, after losing that initial pick, are trying to flood in towards the A side, still having a lurking Cynic out towards alt middle. Halzerk over towards lane is trying to get something done, but bwills has a nice little angle around the hay cart. There he goes and pops one. bwills very good on the Glocks. Has had a few moments so far. There comes another kill coming through, but Floppy destroys 3 as he pops out of holes, trying to get the last couple of kills as Fang is very low on health. The pincer's coming through, but Fang is dealt with. Floppy demolished by 6E, and Gaimin Gladiators, a flashy pistol round here. And for some reason, I cannot get rid of the sanitized player name over on Gaimin Gladiators. But
You got production issues. That's okay. We're going to work through it. But you know what? I love what we see from Gaimin Gladiators. They've been working really, really hard. We can see that. Finally pick it up. Like you said, Danny being on this roster makes things a little bit more interesting for the Gaimin Gladiators. He's not an IGL, but I mean, he definitely has some really good input in terms with Cynic. So I'm curious how this is going to be. But it came close, man. Floppy with a triple. I mean, he wasn't able to activate that 30 that everyone was predicting. But boy, he was getting a little bit close at times.
yeah, Floppy came close to that one, but he wasn't able to connect it. There comes JT, though, and that's a spicy opener against 6E. And that's a heavy hitter down for the count for the Gaimin Gladiators. Good thing for them, though. They still got the likes of bwills and Cynic going up the line, as well as George, too, who is bait on the screen. We'll be working on that throughout the course of this early portion here. And hopefully we can get him to his actual namesake here. But Gaimin Gladiators still content on going for this B take, still grouping up for it, leaving one on the lurk. This time it's bwills. The nade's going to go through. The players are bailing out for complexity side, getting the timing and just backing away. Rotation coming through as well. JT moving back to the B site. Smoke going down, and Gaimin Gladiators with a good amount of utility to still hit this site. Don't have any Molotovs, though, and there's only one flashbang left for complexity. It's going to come down to the shots.
Yeah, and right now, Gaimin Gladiators just giving a feel out for this, right? Complexity are just kind of putting a 3 stack towards B. Really going light on this A hold. I have the scout here from Halzerk. He's just going to play towards Mini. Now these smokes are going to come in. Jazz going to be leading this charge. They got that bracket control, but now they have to either make this decision to commit, and now they're going to go for the arch route. So a lot more pressure here against Halzerk, but oh my god, he's gone! He's just gone.
Night-night. bwills says sit tight, sleep tight. And Grim's got a lot of work to do in a very awkward spot.
Oh, if he gets his timing, though.
Oh my
god,
this
this
timing! Look at the time! Oh, no! He's got a second! Looking for a third headshot! He's just buying time! It's in the red now, 10 seconds, and he's picked up a hat trick! Looking for the last! Shut down by Jazzpim, but the time, it's too far gone! All complexity have to do is stay alive! Jazzpim's hunting! He's gonna get one more on the exit, but that's all done! Grim has done enough to salvage the round! The deagle shots, the pressure, the time, the poise! How does he pull that one off? I don't know. But Grim comes up with a hero play.
Yeah. Not all heroes wear capes, apparently, here, Boggs, because my god, I mean, he just goes right through the smoke. He just becomes a smoke criminal, and he's able to find 3 kills out of that situation. Let alone getting the bomb planter is huge, but the fact that he's able to pick up 2 more, just solidify that round. Gaimin Gladiators had that in the bag, and complexity, they steal it away, and the Grim Reaper once more at it.
Once more at it. Grim. What a performance there. And a Bison out for Halzerk now, which is causing a bit of a double take.
No, he did this all yesterday, and Fi was losing his mind. Oh, yeah, Fi was losing his mind. He's like, why? I don't understand. You can just see his brain. Special. It is the Koi special. I know. I was thinking the same thing. Oh, wow. Double entry.
Great flashbang, but here comes the Bison. It's gone. Well,
it's gone. Well, goodbye.
I question the Bison.
Yeah, I do too. And Fi and I talked a lot about this, and we were like, why? Like, is there any benefit? And I said the only thing is you get 64 chances to get a kill. You get 64 bullets in the chamber, but I don't know, man. You can use a lot of money towards other things.
Yeah. I mean, you can get an MP9 for cheaper.
Yeah, and an MP9 is better. It's just more accurate, better damage. Like, it just, I don't get it.
The MP9 is objectively the best SMG in the game.
I would agree.
It's better than the P90. It's better than the MP7. It's better than the MP5. It's better than the Bison, surely. It's better than the MAC-10. Why would you use something other than the MP9? I don't know. But Grim and Fang are going to bring this back a little bit. It's a round that Complexity should be able to win with a Tech 9 up close and personal. That's an upgrade there for B-Wills. And we're just going to trade back and forth pistol buy rounds because North America loves their pistol headshots, loves the flash and flare. And it's all showbiz here between these two teams. Of course, Complexity would like to win this one clean. Gaimin Gladiators, though, they're down with a little bit of the dirty, scrappy plays, and it's kind of what you can expect them to bring, closing those gaps and trying to barrel stuff people.
Yeah, pretty costly round, though, for Gaimin Gladiators. I mean, they lost a lot of bodies. Yeah, they get the round, that's fine, but you can see where they're equipped with now is double FAMAS, a Galil, a MAC-10 on Danny. Like, that's just things you don't want, but again, they were trying to remove those rifles from Complexity, but right now, it's just going to be Deagles again. We cannot take anything away from this. We just saw what Grim did. Even yesterday, we saw Complexity, have some filthy Deagle rounds. So anything's open.
It is still open. Fang on a UMP, too. Pulling out another SMG you don't see every day. That would make sense because he couldn't buy the MP9. He was $50 short. That's always unfortunate, but the UMP is still a serviceable gun. No longer the $1,200 rifle that it used to be back in, like, 2015, but it's still good.
It's still pretty good.
Yeah. Ooh, still got some good jumping accuracy, too.
It's not bad. And Gaimin Gladiators is actually going for a bit of a stack now, so they're going into bracket control. Fang going to be in here with the... Oh, my. He's got the ump out. He's ready to go, but it's going to be Grim with the Deagle kill. So now, Gaimin Gladiators are going to go for this fight. Grim finally put to sleep. No more players to hold this down. Now it's just going to come here, and there it is, Fang. I was thinking, if he can get this kill, this could stop things, but it's done. It's squashed.
He still got the dink out, which was good. Just there was a great flash from Gaimin Gladiators to get out there. The late Halslurk from B-Wills taking down Grim from behind really helped out too. Then Halslurk coming up empty on the site take. Just kind of spiraled out of control against Complexity and into the favor of the Gaimin Gladiators. Now they're just going to save here. JT on 8 HP, and about the only spot you can possibly save on this map now with that HP when the bomb's down on A. And Floppy's going to go sit over towards B. And save simulator begins here on Inferno, and it's the classic force buy unless you lose. It's like you force until you lose 2 in a row, right? And so for Complexity, they lost the last round. They force up here. This is their second round loss. They'll save up, get a full buy, and it'll be 3-1 or 4-1 at that point, but still more than a serviceable scoreline. And I'm hoping they can get the op out for Halslurk here pretty quickly. That's something I want to see in the early going.
Yeah, and like I was saying just a bit in the pre-show, I mean, we definitely saw in the early iterations of this qualifier, we weren't seeing Halslurk playing kind of that full potential. Now that he's getting a little bit more comfortable with the guys, that we saw, loose play starting to come up a bit more against Strife, and even against One Tap. We'll have to see if he can do that here. I mean, there's no money in the board yet, so they're going to have to go for another just pistol round here in the light eco, we'll call it. But even Gaimin Gladiators, I mean, they're taking advantage of this as much as they can. I mean, double MAC-10s here for Danny and Cynic, so that'll be interesting as well. We haven't really seen a full gun round at all, Boggs. This is kind of actually madness.
Yeah, we haven't, but it's kind of that scrappy, good old-fashioned North American play that you and I are so accustomed to.
Yeah.
In a lot of rounds, so.
Oh, we sure are. Sure are.
It's home. I was watching South America the last couple of days, It feels like home here. Scrappy buys, crazy rounds, unpredictability.
That's a good word. That's a very good definition, yes.
It's the NA special.
It is the NA special. I mean, even that Grim round, I mean, that was an unpredictable thing that you could ever see. The way it happened. Ooh, good mollies coming in. Ooh, this could really flush Complexity out, though. Okay.
Great flashes.
There's a reply. No, more pistols. Bombs like down, too. And now even Floppy, he's coming for the flank. They're able to retrieve this, but now Floppy, he has to get this kill. He needs to stop this. If he misses this, Gaimin Gladiators, they got a free A site. Oh, but the swing, and it's a miss. And now Gaimin Gladiators, they're going to be able to get those sneakers laced up, and they got to start running to get that bomb down.
Strike 3, Floppy's out. JT and Fang booking it over. B-Wills in a great angle to shut down the rotation through arches. Sitting in the cubby, taking a nice tight angle. Fang doesn't clear it hard enough, and JT now with an eye impossible task at his hands. Trying to creep through library. Will be silenced by Jazz Pimp. And Gaimin Gladiators do secure that 4th round on the board. Great recovery for him. Yeah, Floppy was able to get one of those kills. This round probably goes the way of complexity, and they would steal away one very unlikely round. Grim, sell your helmet and buy a kit, please, or just don't buy the helmet here. There's no kit for complexity, and that could prove to be an issue, especially as the bomb has consistently been able to go down for the Gaimin Gladiators. No op just yet for either side, though. And the cash considerably not as strong as it could be for Gaimin Gladiators. 2 players good, yes, but for George, Cynic, and Sixy, it's not that great. So, overall, Gaimin Gladiators have been losing a little too many players in the rounds that they have been winning.
Yeah, I would agree with you fully there. I mean, Gaimin Gladiators seems like they've been sacrificing the bodies to get these rounds, but they do have themselves a comfortable lead with a 4-1, but now we're seeing probably the most full gun round we've seen in 6 rounds, so that's something to tell you. But either way, I mean, Gaimin Gladiators going right back for the default setup where they're going to have the double player pop into the apartments. They're actually going to commit to this, so now there's a bit more pressure. Grim, he's still able to get that kill, and Halzerk's able to help him out right behind him. So now they've just been able to squash this plan. It's a 4-on-3. Slight advantage now, though, for complexity.
Nice kill by Sixy, taken down very low, but the health, it's not great for him. With the manpower, it's still possible to 3v2 hold on the A site. It's still very possible for the Gaimin Gladiators. Get the bomb down, get Sixy into a good spot. There's no HEs, no Molotovs, no flashes for complexity to work this retake with. Just use Sixy as a bit of a bait and switch with B-Wills, and since he's in pit, it can definitely work very well here for the Gaimin Gladiators. Complexity have to clear this one very efficiently, closing all their angles, and Sixy just peeking out, spots a couple of heads.
Oh!
There's 2 on a lineup, has the 3rd, 1 HP, give him a 4K, and Gaimin Gladiators' latest addition is popping off here against Complexity. A fiery start on the T side, and back to the pistols go the Complexity squad. Things are not working out well, and honestly, after this round, I expect a timeout being called going to the next.
It's got to be, right? I mean, that is a huge mistake. I mean, you got to tip your hat here for Sixy. I mean, the fact that he's able to find that double kill just like that, they perfectly line up, and he goes for the peak. And the fact that he has 1 HP, that didn't, influence him at all. He still played the way he needed to. It didn't matter. And there we go, JT getting an opener. A beautiful shot with the Deagle now. Stopping things a little bit for the Gladiators, but there's only double smokes here available in terms of utility on the complexity side. So, I mean, it's easy for Gaimin Gladiators.
It is easy. The AK being tossed out of the map too. Good decision-making, quick thinking there from the Gaimin Gladiators boys. And Complexity hoping they can land a few more of those 1 Deags, preferably 4 more, before that bomb goes down. This is the thing about best of ones too, isn't it, Laz? Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. It is a best of 1, folks.
Yeah. It is a best of 1.
Anything's possible. This is a seeding match, right? So this is the winner of this is going to have a higher seed, of course. So
yeah,
both these teams made it, of course. But
seeds going into the RMR.
A little bit of bragging rights too, right?
I think a lot of bragging rights as far as Gaimin Gladiators are concerned. As far as complexity is concerned, I think this game is a little less importance. Given they've already accomplished their mission. They got Blast coming up, I think so. Oh, Grim, he's got the angle. He can pick up a 2nd here. No, it's not going to work out for him. Halzerk and Grim both going 1 for 1 into a 2v2. Cynic doing his due diligence with the cold box spam. But the rotation's coming in again. Floppy and JT again with no utility really prime for this retake. 1 smoke. It's not going to facilitate much. And another thing to note, too, the flashbangs from Gaimin Gladiators on their T-side executes have been nothing short of phenomenal. They've been absolutely brilliant. They've been working out so well to give their team the space on the entries. And Complexity are going to need to figure out a way to stop this one fast, as it's now going to be a 6-1 scoreline in favor of Gaimin Gladiators. And if this gets any worse for Complexity, this one's going to be over pretty quickly, and Gaimin Gladiators are going to take that 1st seed.
This is actually quite surprising too, because I mean, Gaimin Gladiators, when we talk about their history on this map, I mean, their T side is their stronger side, right? I mean, it's about a 57% win rate that they like to have on this T side. CT's pretty close, But I mean, like we said, complexity, they've been just getting themselves back into the groove of things and only getting their last 2 Ws with a 16-5 and 16-4 or so against Strife and One Tap, and some arguably some decent teams that have made, ECL and also advanced. But now you're playing a team like this in Gaimin Gladiators. They had an amazing showing here this last season.
Yeah, and with the addition of 60 too, I think Gaimin Gladiators just got better. So I think that their secondary calling's also going to get stronger. There's a nice opening from Halzerk, finally getting the big green gun into his hands. Starts things off nicely indeed with a good clean pick. No flashes to warn them off just yet. If they want to peek up their brackets, they will fall. There's a free second kill, and Halzerk isn't going to be daunted just yet. Molotov coming into his position, flashing in from Jasmine. Halzerk still fighting, taken down by George. Grim holding around the corner, sprays down the first, goes back for the second time of asking, and flicks around for the last. Head on a swivel, 180 flick, and bwills only good for one. Complexity finally get around to the board with the guns in their hands. And a lot of that was facilitated by Halzerk, and the other by Grim, the hero of that first round they won.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of individual play coming into effect now, for complexity. So, I mean, we see that Halzerk's able to find those 2 opening duels, and Grim just kind of puts matters into his own hands, gets the triple to get things locked down, and Grim now putting himself at 11 kills. The next closest would be JT and Halzerk hitting at the 4 mark. We're definitely going to have to see a little bit more coming out of the complexity side of things. It's a lot more evenly distributed here on the Gaimin Gladiators. And look at that, Halzerk, he gets aggressive down middle. He's able to find that, capitalize that kill onto bwills. A big man advantage.
An aggressive play from Halzerk, but that's something that Complexity have desperately needed throughout the past, is somebody to take that kind of a fight with a big green gun and win that duel. George trades out 60, who's already down for the count, and Halzerk's booked it over towards the B site too. He's bolstering up that side of things now. Grim holding the lane will pick up Cynic, and in a 2v4, George and Jazzpimp have a lot of work to do to try and get anything close to the site. Jazzpimp won, nice trade from Fang, and then the bomb down out towards alt middle. Going to be recovered by George Snorts. But I think this one is going to be one he'll like to forget, as there's not much you can really hope to do in this round. Maybe a couple extra kills. Get that op out of the hands of Halzerk would be good, because Complexity starts to the last 2 rounds have been Halzerk going for an aggressive opping play, getting those opening kills. And without that, Complexity have basically been up a creek without a paddle. No real success to show. So Halzerk being the catalyst right now. Once the guns have come through, and George... Little fall, little late, little messy.
I was thinking too, you could see Halzerk, he was just kind of scoping around. He was, walking through library, but he was just checking every single angle. He wasn't really watching lanes. So I was thinking, if Fang kind of falls asleep at the wheel for like half a second, I mean, George could have found that opportunity to cross and get that kill, but it was asking a lot. But I mean, you got to give it to George. He's trying to find something, but not a whole lot. I mean, like you said, he only had a smoke piece of utility. Gaimin Gladiators now going to be on the save on the eco. My apologies, with Eagles and Tech 9s. One of the first times we've seen that in a long time here in the 10 rounds we've had, Boggs.
Yeah, we had a lot of pistols on the complexity side, but Gaimin Gladiators haven't really been relegated to the sidearms all too much. And they're a very scary team when they have the pistols too. A very hyper-aggressive roster when they need to be. Can really run you down and make sure there's nowhere for you to get out. Looks to be an A pop here coming through from them as well. A little bit of fake utility being thrown towards B by George, forcing those players away from the B side, keeping them away from the information. Halzerk one blind. Fang tries to swing out, but 60's got him ranged with the Tech 9. That's a huge loss for Complexity, leaving it all down to Grim, who's demolished by George. The bomb's going to go down. Complexity on the outside looking in. bwills with an op in his hands. That could also go over to 60 if they want to, as he is a solid opper, and I might say probably going to be the primary opper on this Gaimin Gladiators roster as things progress. He's going to get that op now. bwills still on the Tech 9, and Complexity are waving the white flag. They're backing off to B. It's a save call initiated, and Gaimin Gladiators pistols working out well.
Oh man, Gaimin Gladiators showing their dominant T side, and I said this before. I mean, Gaimin Gladiators been doing a lot of boot camping, a lot of preparation to get themselves in this position. But yeah, like we talked about, they are definitely wanting the big bragging rights that they can take down a heavy hitter like this in Complexity. And now a 7-3 scoreline. It's looking a little more evident.
Yeah, I'm hoping Complexity have a little more to offer on the T side, but even then, they still can't let the bleeding get too bad. If they bleed out entirely here in the first half, they're not going to have any life left to give to be able to claw back in the second. They have to make a stand now. They have to get at least 6 rounds. I would say 7 at a bare minimum the way Gaimin Gladiators are playing. It's not going to make that easy. COLJT back on the op, but he has to be careful too not to get flashed in and just obliterated like he was in the last round. Going in towards B, actually going for the peek. Flashes in the smoke. Nades coming in. He'll back away, taking just a little bit of chip damage. 1 point out of that whole ordeal. Complexity starting to run out of racetrack very fast on this CT side. And questions being raised because of this as well.
Yeah, they're trying to go for this. It's not even really a stack gamble, but it's just kind of putting that one player, COLJT, where do you want him? And now look at this. The execute's coming in. It's going to be GT and now Floppy. They're going to have to lock things down. Floppy getting exposed. The nades are coming in. Gaimin Gladiators doing a great job to burn things out. But Jazz actually takes down 60, so a little bit of a TK actually now.
Oh, you know,
a little bit of a casualty. Oh, he's furious.
You know Danny's pissed.
Oh, he's just sitting there rubbing his eyes like, God, dude. Why?
That's going to be you and me later.
Yeah, it is going to be you and me later. Yeah, of course.
Got to get that.
Oh, look at this
10-year anniversary coin. Look at that 8 take, though. All the control towards arches. But I like this from COLJT. A very removed angle. Spots the bomb. Drops the bomb. Gets his pick. And just backs off. Bang on a nice little off angle on the balcony. Dropping down. Jazz Pimp and... Well, Siddick's gone, so just Jazz Pimp now left alive. Fang's going to tap him away. And Complexity have responded in the best way possible. A flawless victory. But that round was a little bizarre from Gaimin Gladiators. I think they kind of just went contacting you. They're like, hey, there's nobody here. Hey, there's nobody here. Oh, there they are. We're dead now.
Yeah, a little shocking that they just, they didn't use any of the utility they did still have, and they kind of thought, oh, Arches is open, nobody's going to be here, and just kind of thought, yeah, Complexity leaned really heavily on B. A bit of a misread or maybe a miscomm, I'm not sure, but yeah, a bit of an interesting setup. But now we get a little bit of a hero buy. We're going to have 60, and also George going to be having the AKs ready to go. Limited utility. I mean, there is smokes across the board, but that's pretty much all they're relying on now. But they are going to go back for that A-pop, and those Tech 9s are definitely going to be lethal coming out of the apartments.
The pistols, ever deadly. Complexity playing a lot more passive this time against the pistols, which is an adjustment, given the fact that the flashes from Gaimin Gladiators have been so effective. Makes a lot of sense, but they do give a lot of space to the pistols too, which is a problem. Smoke dropped into sight. Grim drops the preeminent one in towards pit. Gives him a one-way and a chance to get out of the Molotov if it's thrown. But a lot of work just stands on the shoulders of Grim here to try and be that early contact towards lane to hold off the onslaught that's about to charge through. Gaimin Gladiators know all the tricks. They know where he's playing. COLJT with an angle on the op out towards lane. Drops a flash into the graveyard stairwell. And JT thinking about probing up, does get one for free, and 6 he's going to try and trade, but he goes to his grave instead. The push is coming up lane, and Grim has a lot of work at his feet. He's going to take down one. COLJT has his cover, and the last one as well. And that's great from COLJT, letting Grim be able to focus on one angle without having to keep 2 on, 1 eye on each spot. Lets him really focus on that lane duel, and no fear from Palace. Complexity, couple of rounds in a row now. 3 more, they win the half, and disappointment would be immeasurable for Gaimin Gladiators.
Yeah, especially with this big lead, right? I mean, they were able to have themselves at what, like 7-2 scoreline at one point, or I think even a 7-1. It was looking pretty grim here. No pun intended, but Complexity, I mean, it's interesting that Gaimin Gladiators have, continued to go for the A site when they know the setup from Complexity, but now it looks like they're just going to bulldoze mid. They're just going to try everything out. They're just going to rush things out, and Jazz is able to find one, so now COLJT has to land more shots than that, and he's going to be able to. Nice little 1-2 with the op on the 5-7, and it just locks it down. Bomb dropped, and it's only 2. Taking a 1.
And soon to be none. Cynic out in the lurk towards Halls. Will be finished off eventually. It's COLJT. 4 kills for him. Dropping that flame too. Complexity, we're ready for the pistol rush this time around. Those double incendiaries drop towards brackets. COLJT really poised though in that kind of a pressure situation. It's never fun being the guy on the op getting pushed with pistols. But he's seen that a couple times before, so.
That's when the nerves really kick in. You're like, okay, I'm either going to do really well, or this is going to go really badly.
Yeah, but you can't miss. You literally can't miss
Did not miss.
Situation. Wait, why are Gaimin Gladiators on pistols again? This is their 4th round straight, isn't it?
I think this might be their second or third, the third, sorry, that I was thinking, but Interesting that they're going for this. So they're really just going to put everything in the last round of this first half in terms of investment. A bit more utility, though. But look at the setup. They're just waiting on T-ramp. Creeping through this map. They are not even putting any pressure at all. Expecting Complexity to push down mid. This is what we saw from Complexity yesterday. So I think Gaimin Gladiators, they must have done their homework. They're thinking, okay, Complexity, they like to get aggressive. Let's wait for this.
Complexity playing rather disciplined, though, not over pushing here. That's a good flash, though, from the Gaimin Gladiators. Their flash efficiency has been very impactful. JT doing a little more damage, backing away. Has support from Floppy as well. In-game leader and Rifler are going to back away to opposite sides, but Floppy's going to get demolished, and bwills with a smoke onto JT. The pistols surely are not going to win the half for Gaimin Gladiators here. This cannot be allowed if you are Complexity. It would not be the first time, it would not be the second time that they would have lost 2 pistols here. It will be the third. And at this point, Grim and Halsrick have to save.
They got to save this unless they get... Whoa, whoa,
What?
whoa, whoa, what is going on? They're just sweeping the floor, so now 6C. In an unparticular situation, he's able to get a spray, but he's down to 4 HP. He's gonna have to get this kill, but Grim, oh, he's gonna seize him to the death. But my God, Complexity somehow, some way, they pull up that 2-on-4 out of nowhere.
RKO out of nowhere. What the heck was that round?
I don't even understand. Like, I was totally on board with you. I'm like, yeah, they're gonna have to save. I don't know how they lost the site, and then it's like, wait, no, we're just gonna push him, and Halsrick just popped off.
Yeah, all of a sudden Grim gets 1, Halsrick pops 2 with a 5-7, and then Danny's stuck and pretty much dead in emo, getting mollied out of position, and Grim's clutching up. Grim and Halsrick also at 18 and 15 kills, nobody else at Complexity at double digits. Basically 2 players hard carrying the Complexity roster right now. Grim tries to mix it up though, and it was expected and really well dealt with by the Gaimin Gladiators. 6C helping out George, who got taken down quite low over towards Banana, but man advantage goes to the Gaimin Gladiators. Halsrick trying to bring it back, spots out 1, cannot get out though as this timing goes against him. At a boiler, Cynic pops, and Gaimin Gladiators to the man advantage again, a 4v3 situation. And this is another round where they should not lose. Fang's got a lot of angles to watch. Only good for 1. Needed at least 2 to make this a winnable one. As the A-site retake on this map is brutal, to say the least. 2 flashes for Floppy and a smoke. No other pieces of utility for Complexity here. The AK and the M4. And solid post-plant positions for the Gaimin Gladiators. I think it's going to be an 8-7 in favor of Gaimin, unless Floppy and JT can pull off the impossible.
Yeah, both these players are not really hitting the high stakes for the kills right now, but there it is. They're going to find one, a little bit of an opening. So bwills going to go for the swing. He's able to find that one, not able to. So now it's down to the 1v1, but JT, the IGL, he's able to bring it through. Complexity, they got the time, and they're going to win this half to an 8-7 scoreline.
The last couple of rounds were rounds that Complexity should not have won after the situation they put themselves in, realistically speaking. They just kind of clawed their way back in. And JT with a great round last round. I thought it was over when Floppy got timing by the pit player.
So did I. And I'm going to be honest, Boggs, like that, what was that, round 14, I think, or whatever, like where Complexity 2v5, like, that's got to be the most, like, NA round we've ever seen. Like, that is just madness what we just watched. Full deathmatch brawl spree.
Yep.
Oh, good grief.
No, this game is just NA incarnate.
It is. It really is.
This map is just... What is North American Counter-Strike? Right here.
Clip. Right here.
That was the fastest halftime I've ever seen.
Yeah, we didn't even get a chance to call a break or anything. These guys, they just want to get right into it.
They just want to keep running around with dual Berettas.
Your favorite.
I love them. It's great on this map, too, especially you just get up to a tight angle, spam mouse 1, people come around the corner. So fun. But there's utility for Complexity. Halsrick actually picking up a lot of utility, too. Double flashes and a smoke. No upgrades for the Complexity side, relying on the Glocks. And no kit for the Gaimin Gladiators either, so time could be a factor. The duelie's so close, though. Swinging forward! Don't clear boiler! Grimm's pop 2! Ringing a third bell! Nah, he's got help from Fang either way. Bomb's going down on A, and that's a round over in the favor of Complexity. A free pick onto the duelies of Jazz Pimp, and then everybody else falls like a Jenga tower. 9-7 Complexity, and I actually really like the save call from Gaimin Gladiators, because they're saving the armor for George. They're saving a lot of utility. They're going to force into the next round. So might as well go into it with a little extra something to work with. The extra armor means a better gun for George. The extra utility means less to buy for Sixy. It's not something you see every day, but it's something that I think a lot more teams should consider when these kind of situations arise.
No, I'm glad you brought that up because I think a lot of people would just be like, well, why would you save on a pistol? But that's a really good point. Holy, never mind 60. Now he's going to have to burn some of that utility. We're talking about saving, so he's starting to dispense it pretty fast. Should be able to survive. He's got a flash. Each of them holding one piece. Oh, there we go. George with a nice shot. They will survive, but 60 not able to obtain or, you know, kind of hold everything that we were thinking he could, but it was all about survival. He's got that armor. Not a bad situation.
You could go FAMAS here. Hey. There he goes.
Hey, there it is.
FAMAS, 5.7s, and a deagle. This is almost as deadly as you can get. Oh, I like the run boost too. Getting the nade down banana. That is going to be dodged by Fang. But the only thing that would make this round a little more deadly in the favor of Gaimin Gladiators is putting a shotgun instead of one of the 5.7s. That's the only thing that would make this one a little more deadly. Because if you think of Inferno, it's close range angles for the most part, and 5.7s can do a lot of damage. The one deagle's out towards arches, though, and it's being forced away. That nade does 1 point of damage, and the counter nade also does 1 point of damage. But Complexity just have to follow their protocols here to be able to win this round.
Oh, wow. JT goes for that quick peek, takes down Cynic, holding a tight angle, and he just gets removed. And now look at them. They're just going to push up towards arch, and there it is. JT finds another one. But they do have this player that's going to be Jazz. He does have the 5.7, the first kill. Not able to find more than that. So now George by himself, the FAMAS in hand, and Complexity. They have fruitful pick, and they can do whatever they want. Oh, even easier with that kill now. That was a very messy kill. But there we go. They know. They realize, okay, I think this last player should be B. Let's just bring things towards A. And it should be another save that we see here from the Gaimin Gladiators.
Yeah, no reason for George to actually go for this. If anything, he should save the FAMAS again. And he's out on the bridge. And now into the river. 10 rounds for Complexity and a massive string for him. Because this was what, 7-2?
Mm-hmm.
That's 8 in a row.
Yeah, 7-2. Yeah, losing, and then, yeah, pretty much 8 rounds in a row, losing the first half, and Complexity's still going strong here, and even Gaimin Gladiators, they don't have any funds that they can, you know, put any rifles on the board, so they're going to have to just go deagles or 5.7s once more.
Why does Cynic keep full buying in these situations?
Well, you know, Cynic, he likes to spend his money.
Are we going to see a Negev from Cynic next round?
I don't know. I mean, the game's pretty intense, so, I mean, I don't know if we will. He does like it, though.
He did it in playoffs for ECL. I wouldn't put it past him.
I don't know. I think you and I were both kind of going, Cynic. He knows something we don't. Ooh,
yeah,
JT actually
talked to Munster about that.
Yeah. What is this? Troll or serious?
Both.
Both. It's such a frustrating gun to get killed against too, because it's like even the mental game, right? You're just like, oh man, I can't believe I lost to this. Like I can't believe I lost a duel to a Gev.
Yeah, but at the same time, if it's going for a bit, it's very effective.
It is very effective, yeah.
It's just so
wind
niche.
it up. It is very niche. Ooh, nice stack though from Gaming.
Ooh.
Great shot from Grim. A little bit of reply back on that one.
Yeah. Crispy from Grim, and Sixy's expecting the wrap, but it's going to be a full A commit. Molotov's going in. Do they clear Grave Stairs? They do clear Mini Pit, and they clear the stairwell as well, but it's only going to be one for Fang. Floppy and Hauser combined for the last 2 players remaining on the site. Sixy's coming through, the last man standing for the Gaimin Gladiators, but 11 look likely for the Complexity side. A 4-round lead over the Gaimin Gladiators, and we'll see what they're going to be able to buy. Again, the Negev might come out for Cynic. It is a very realistic possibility that he goes sits top banana with the Negev. He could also go XM, which I think would be the more prudent course of action because the XM is such a good gun and great on this map. It's like playing Top Hut Nuke with the XM. You can play halls, you can play banana, you can play on a site with it, you can even play arches in the cubby if you wanted to. There's a lot of versatility for the shotgun. Cynic's going to go FAMAS though. A little disappointed with that actually. But overall, not a terrible buy from Gaimin Gladiators.
There we go. It's just for, the FAMAS going to be playing the play here for Cynic. So not going the Negev like we thought, but going to keep himself with a bit of utility as well. 4 rifles, the M4s. No A4s though, too. Interesting. They haven't hit that change yet.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of M4A1s still.
Back to a 3-2 from Gaimin Gladiators as well. A lot of utility being dispersed of. Getting things out, and actually it's going to be Cynic. He's close on by. Nice molly placement, just spam through middle, but he might get caught. He does, and there it is, Complexity. They're able to find some good kills across the maps here. Both Banana and Bracket.
COLJT destroyed by Jasmine. That's the bomb dropping too. It doesn't drop all the way into the open. It's recoverable for JT. And look at Grimm's position actually all the way on the flank through Library, clearing out arches. Gets the backstab, but bwills is waiting for it. Trades back and forth, but favoring Gaimin Gladiators. JT creeping up a lane into the open. One way for bwills, and Gaimin Gladiators win their first in 9. It's good for them to get back on the board. Cynic can have the op, actually. 60 not the primary opper for this squad, I guess. And we'll see how the guns shuffle around for the Gaimin Gladiators. 60 will get an M4A1, AK FAMAS. Utility's not terrible over on the CT side, and over on Complexity, everyone has an AK, except for COLJT, who's limited to a deagle because of his op investment in the previous round. We'll see if they want to go back to that op on the T side. It's not something you normally see all the time on Inferno T. It's not something that's necessary. It's not like a dust to an overpass or even a mirage. Good nade damage onto the banana players, though, and Complexity just going back to a default here, feeling out what Gaimin Gladiators have in store.
Yeah, and even Cynic having this op, too. I mean, just given his scoreline, I know he hasn't really had the best game in terms of his kill-death ratio, but this might allow him to kind of, pat some kills and feel a little bit better. He was the opper before, 60 joined, so that's a big thing to note. But Complexity now putting a bit more pressure towards Banana. They do obtain that control, so Gaimin Gladiators, they're not putting any aggression on this. They like to normally contest for it, but this is a different round where they're going to just allow the control to be given to their foes. Now the rotate's coming in. Cynic, he's actually going to put this off. He's going to go into the back of CT spawn. Now he's going to be placed up. Big stack here from Gaimin Gladiators.
They've got the read. They've been reading Complexity well. They haven't exactly been able to win every single one, but Fang's just going hand through the smoke. He's not going to pick up Cynic there. Wallbang shot comes through. But that was still a very dangerous situation for Cynic to be in. Complexity closing the gap coming up. Cynic sitting behind the coffins and that smoke. 60 and U-Box out into the open. Mowed down by Floppy. Hauser taking some damage, getting the bomb closer towards the site. Can get that planted, though. Cynic would have to expose himself to Floppy. The Molotov going to burn Hauser into the positioning of Cynic. He had to get out of there one way or another. Floppy into the open. Sprays down one, but 1 for 1, leaving it all down to Grim in a 1v2. But if it's one man to be in a clutch situation, you want it to be Grim. He's going to tap that bomb, but there's no time. He's got to take the fight. Hits the first. Doesn't have time for the plant, though. He's got to go for the fight. He's got no time. bwills around. Going for the after-time kill. Grim should not be staying in the open there. And money busted over on the Starman for Complexity. The lead slipping away. And Gaimin Gladiators getting momentum back faster and faster.
Gaimin Gladiators, man, they survive it. Just barely in Complexity. That Molotov that landed on COLJT, I mean, that was allowing the biggest opening, too. You could see he was just waiting to go for the bomb plant. He had to commit to the swing, so the bomb was dropped and everything just fell apart from there. And MP9's across the board, pretty much. 3 players obtaining it with the 1 off and, of course, the M4. And look at this. They're pushing down middle, so Jazzy's already gotten the mid possession. In Complexity, they're just winning things in all middle. They should have heard this. But now Gaimin Gladiators, they have a full read on the situation.
JT gets a free one out of Jazzpim. Not so sure why he's hyper-focused on Mexico with nobody watching the other angles. bwills going to get timing from behind as well. Couple of gun upgrades now for Complexity. Cynic stuck on site. Lots of players flooding into his position. But he gets the free pick onto Grim. Nobody there for the trade just yet. Floppy running and gunning it around, trying to get away from that op. Does pick up the kill. Combination with COLJT. Bomb going to get planted. And potentially a save coming through here for Gaimin Gladiators, as now it's all down to George, who's getting spammed and almost obliterated here. Little bit longer he will live, and he's gonna maybe even take out COLJT, who's been tinked by the MP9. Just goes to show how strong that weapon is. All these complexity players tagged down very low. JT has the MP9, gets the kill. And there will be no saving for the Gaimin Gladiators this time. Only 4 away from complexity to punch their ticket across the line and get that first seed. Again, folks, it's a best of 1. Both teams have already qualified for the RMR. This is just for bragging rights and for seeding purposes. JT gonna stick on that MP9 here. COLJT with that free op donated from the last round. And a force buy from the Gaimin Gladiators. We know they're good on pistols, though, lads. We know they're gonna be very, very good with the pistols. 5.7s again. A Hamas for Cynic this time instead of George. And the Deagle over in the hands of Jazz Pimp. A little bit of banana control for JT on the MP9. A little bit of utility being exchanged between both sides. The nade stack doesn't really do too much, but at the very least, George is tagged a little lower. 6 is in a good spot, though, with a 5.7, but he gets flashed in, and he gets taken down as JT was ready for that. And, well, 5v4 against the pistols is a round that complexity should have no problems cleaning up.
Yeah, it shouldn't be an issue for them, but never say never, right? I mean, anything can happen at this point. But you got George. And you also got bwills going to lock this down. They only got the pistols, though. No utility to stop any of the aggression. And there it is. They capitalize on the one player in sight. So now, or bwills, sorry, he's going to have to just play on back, wait for his teammates. And COLJT gets the kill through the smoke. And yeah, I think the nails hit the coffin on this one.
At long last, complexity are starting to really clean up the rounds that they should. They've struggled with that in a lot of cases throughout tonight. They've struggled to win the rounds that they should be winning with ease. And they're getting that now. They're finally starting to get that momentum going. And I think, too, yeah, Strife's not bad. One tap, they're an ECL team, too. But when you look at the level of the Gaimin Gladiators versus the previous 2 opponents that Complexity have played on this map, there's a whole other level to this. Gaimin Gladiators are a team that challenge for the ECL title. A team that can go toe-to-toe with the likes of Pain. They're no easy day. They're no small fish in the pond. They're a team that's trying to take away a spot in the top 3, top 4 in the region. So, if you're just coming in here, no real idea of who the Gaimin Gladiators are. They're a team with a lot of skill, and they've been growing in terms of their tactical acumen. I'm not surprised they were able to qualify for the RMR through this first qualifier.
Yeah, no, me neither. I was actually, they were kind of my top 3 pick, and I was thinking like they should be able to. I mean, given, it depends on who they were going to play and everything like that, but yeah, no, it's impressive to see how well the Gaimin Gladiators have done. And like you said, being 60 added onto this roster is a very interesting pickup too. And right now they're not in the winning position, but boy, they have a good beginning stance on this game.
Yeah, I feel like a little more structure, a little more mental work with these guys would go a long way to making them a much stronger team. Because they're all a bit of personalities, If you're familiar with the NA scene, you know the kind of players that Gaimin Gladiators have. They're characters. So maybe give them a little more intensity, a little more structure. This team's going to be scary. And they've been getting better since they got picked up by this team, and I believe they have Semphis coaching them as well. So some veteran presence from him. Not, of course, in the server right now because of RMR rules, but he gives them a good baseline. And I'm sure he's going to be giving these guys a lot of advice after this map is over. Because even if they lose it, they still have a lot of promise, especially what we saw on that early T side. Just kind of let it slip away in the end there. Nice little double.
There it is.
JT.
Yeah, this is just kind of looking like a little bit of the repeat of round 7, just getting themselves in the sight. You just got pistols, pretty much Cynic with the Famas with only 16 HP. It's asking a lot right now. One flash. I mean, this isn't for Cynic, so if this flash placement can come through, this is Jazzy. Has to get a shot, but COLJT doesn't even matter. Still gets the kill, and there it is. Complexity should be sitting themselves at a 14th round, and we're going to need something change here from the Gaimin Gladiators, a different change of pace. Starting to look like a lot more turtling of a setup. Again, you got to put that note, though, as well. As I mean, they have been on those ecos.
Yeah, they haven't really managed their economy that well, which is a problem. especially on Inferno. And that's what Inferno can kind of lead to, too, is just a CT side with no momentum, getting economically broken round after round after round, having to save round after round after round. And it can be very brutal for a CT side if things start to slip out of your favor. It's this very steep, slippery slope that you can very quickly find yourself at the bottom of. And a timeout's going to be called here. This has to be the Gaimin Gladiators. There's no way Complexity are calling a timeout here. They're rolling. Their money's good. Their momentum's good. They're pushing hard here. And well, we'll see how things are going to go for the Gaimin Gladiators. Is they could go for a glass cannon on George, which would kind of break the structure a little bit, but it wouldn't be a bad gamble idea.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all, actually. I think this could actually change things around. Nope. I'm going to go for it. That's fine. See it. Jazz still kind of waiting things out, too. You'll Moss full utility. This is an important round. I mean, this is pretty telling now. I mean, Gaimin Gladiators, they need this. This is survival mode. Stimpak has to get kicked in now.
Nade exchange up towards Banana. A little bit of damage taken by Sixy. JT going through. Hauser going for an opening with the op up towards Arches. Takes the peek, gets the spot, and Cynic's removed. The in-game leader for the Gaimin Gladiators now can call the shots and backseat game. But over towards Banana, JT's in a good spot out towards Mailbox. They're going to go by him, and he's going to get caught out by Sixy. He smelled a rat. He finished him off. B-Wills, nice opening duel one against Fang. Doing the man advantage goes the way of Gaimin, but not for long as Floppy pops out from Halls. Has a nice angle. There's nobody else on the site proper, but the rotations are very, very fast. In fact, Sixy's already come up. He's going to get taken down as Sixy and Jasmine both fall. Floppy out of Halls will pick up 3. Add a little more to his tally. He hasn't had the most flamboyant performance, but when you look at that, he's 12 kills, 7 assists, and 9 deaths. He hasn't seen too many people. He's kind of just been supporting his teammates and taking a backseat. Oh, hold up. Hold the phone. We got a Negev alert here. And it's not Cynic, it's George this time.
That's George. Oh, you love to see it. Well, we'll see what they can make work of. I'm kind of curious where we're going to see George put this thing. It looks like towards Banana. 3 players towards A here from Gaimin Gladiators. The setup's coming in. Complexity waiting things out once more. Nobody towards Banana. Grim able to find that opening duel. Takes down Cynic, so that's the Opera. And there, Floppy, another one taken out. They are just massacring all the heads here from the Gladiators. A 3v5, and no trades have been commenced here from Gladiators.
No trades at all. Nothing they could really trade out either. It's pretty isolated duels won by the Complexity players, and that's a problem. If there's no trade potential, it's going to be even worse for you on the CT side. Because a trade already is inherently favorable to the T's. There's a nice opening from Sixy, though, but Fang trades it out. They're trying to scale on towards the B side. Just the Negev here to hold. And we all know how the Negev is very slow to start up. Fang will make it. It will not sing. And Floppy holding the line. Taken down by Jaspim. Nice little duel one. Hits the crouch into the crosshair. And he's going to hop on forward, trying to get this one done and dusted. Jaspim going for it here. 3 players defined. Looking for the first towards Coffins. Nice headshot. Grim returns the favor, though, and that's Complexity. A 16-9 finish to their favor. And not a bad finish despite that very rough start. It was a 7-2 in the favor of the Gaimin Gladiators. And a 16-9 finish. Great recovery.
Yeah, this is a really good demonstration of, Complexity. They started things off very cold. They did not look like the same team that we saw through this qualifier. Gaimin Gladiators, they were not messing around. They had a really good start, a 7-2, and they essentially lost 8 rounds in a row. Or actually, I think it was 10 in a row. So, I mean, that's...
I think it was 9.